Are we live? Oh, I think we're live now. It looks like we're live. Let's refresh. Yep. All right. Hi, everyone. How's it going? All right. Where's my chat? There's my chat. And we are ready to go. So today's topic is why slowing down feels like you're falling behind. So I'll give it a little bit more time and then we'll start. Okay. Today I have tea with me to get me started. Hello. Hi, Brent. We are in here. We are in here. I gotta get my energy up, y'all. Okay. More caffeine. That's why I got my chai tea with me. Okay. All right, everyone. So the topic of today's video is why slowing down feels like you're falling behind. And when I talk about slowing down, we are in this like hustle culture where we have to keep everything has to go. Everything, it's like we're surviving on no sleep, and especially true for mothers. So when I talk about things, I talk about things through the lens of a mother, okay? Because that's what I relate to. I can also relate to it when I was not a mother because I wasn't always a mother, but right now it's so ingrained in my life. And this is something I'm so passionate about that when I talk about things, it's in the eyes of and through the lens of being a mother. However, those who are not mothers, or, even if you're just have three jobs and you're just hustling, this also applies to you too. I mean, I'm a woman first, I'm Tiana first, mother second. So, or Yandis first. Say my real name. But yes, so we're talking about why slowing down feels like you're falling behind. So, like I've said before, we're very pressured to constantly be go, 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 go. And the moment we stop and just enjoy life, you feel like a sense of anxiety. I don't know if you've ever felt that, but whenever you just want to rest and read a book, you always have to feel like that book has to be productive. Or if you're resting, you even always have to feel like scam calls. Even if you're resting, you feel like you have to be focused on something. Every minute of your day feels like it has to be accounted for. And we've been trained that way, especially in American culture. We've been trained to feel like it is a problem to relax. If we're relaxing at all, we are not producing anything that creates currency, then it's an issue. And we need to change that. And not to say that you shouldn't work hard or, not necessarily work hard. I personally believe in working smarter, not harder. But, when you're working smarter, you work too. But I believe that there has to be balance to it. I'm a Libra. I'm all about balance. If you are not relaxing, then there is no point. I mean, you're going to lose the point of why you're working so hard in the first place. Now, having kids may help to a certain degree, but if you are going to the point where, you're losing yourself and you're not eating and you got all kind of issues going on, then it becomes a problem and you start losing the reason that you're working so hard. So, because it's like, what's the point in doing all of this work if I can't enjoy it? And I think that's where we are coming to as a society where um, we talk about how, you can work three different jobs, full time to work two full time jobs and still can barely afford rent. I mean, we get to this point where it's just like, what's the point? And we complain about people not wanting to work. And I've said this on my threads. We complain about people not wanting to work. However, when you are spending all of your time in a place where you are lining the pockets of someone else and you can't even afford to eat, of course you're not going to want to work. There's no return on investment. There is no reward. Why would I want to work when that's what I'm getting? I'm getting pennies and I can't even afford to eat, and I'm spending all of my time here. It needs to change, and something needs to change, you know. So, you know, and then it makes us feel unsafe when we do calm down, because we, like I said, we get into this go 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 mode. Okay, we get into this go 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 mode, and every minute has to be, we have to be doing something. And at the end of the day, life, you know, life is about balance. It's about, we have a duality where in life. And again, if you are not sitting and enjoying the beauty of what the world has to give, then it's almost like, what's the point? Okay. That's great, y'all. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna pull a card and see what message comes. Okay. He helped me out, so y'all gonna see a random hand every now and then. My computer guy. More than that, but all right. So what's the message? And I'm pulling from the Gods, Goddesses, and Guardians deck today. I love this deck. You'll probably see this deck over and over. I have so many decks down there. You see my like little messy library over there. I have so many decks, but you'll see me using like the same 2 decks because they're like my favorite. Just like what I started. Okay. So we have Artemis, Brave Spirit, and it's such a beautiful card. You know, Brave Spirit. So right now, we're, like I said, we're in a time where, you know, if we don't feel like we are hustling, then we feel like we can't eat. And it also makes us afraid to do the things that we need to do in order to take care of ourselves, our bodies, our children, whatever we need to do. And sometimes you have to create boundaries, even with like with whoever it is with your children, with your partner, with your boss, with a lot of in every area of your life that could cause stress. That with even with yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to put boundaries on yourself, and you cannot be afraid to put boundaries on yourself. You cannot measure you don't measure your worth by how much you're working. Okay? You cannot, you have to be, you have to dial back the anxiety a bit and understand that it's okay to breathe. And if you even need to do baby steps sometimes, you know, breathe for, you know, okay, I'm going to give myself 10 minutes today to just breathe. And then that 10 minutes maybe turns into 20. Because here's the thing, then you start to create, when you can sit and breathe, you create a space, you know, where you're not just moving, and that is where your creativity thrives. But you have to be brave enough to let yourself have the time. You have to be safe enough to know, or feel safe enough to know in your own ability and in your own creativity, that if I take this 10 minutes out, I will be okay. I will still make sales. I will still meet my deadlines. I will still get these kids fed and to school on time. Okay? You got to be brave enough to give yourself that time. All right? So, we're going to go into our Reddit situations now, our Reddit reads. Okay. And so I think we have 3 or 4. And I said, if you're new here, my name is Yandistar. I do, you know, I love my Oracle cards. I love my tarot cards, but I love to incorporate it into real life situations, because we're here living real life. We're here living real life, you know. So what you'll see me do is, I'll read different situations from Reddit, and then I'll just pull a card to see what the message is. None of what I do is predictive, in a sense of I am predicting that this is going to happen. This is using these cards. Where are my cards? Oh. Using these cards as a way of self-development, self-discovery, and understanding where we need to change, where we need to better ourselves. I'm all about self-improvement. Okay. and confidence. All right. So let's start. So our first story is from the anxiety subreddit, and it's called How to Battle Anxiety, or this titled How to Battle Anxiety, specifically of the Sunday Scaries. Pause. If obviously everyone that's had a job knows, or at least a regular 9 to 5, understands what the Sunday Scaries are. It's the Sunday Scaries is when you go through the whole week of work, especially a job that you hate, and you get to, Friday, and we're so happy about Friday, but then it's, and then Saturday, Saturday's cool, but then you get to Sunday and you just fall off a cliff. Some people get the shakes, especially if you get anxiety, you get the shakes, especially if your body somatically expresses anxiety, you start shaking, you get headaches, dizziness, all of those symptoms that have to do with anxiety. Oh goodness, where is my okay, there it is. All of those things that have to do with anxiety, we get those. And it creates, you just get scared of Mondays. It's because you're afraid of Mondays. You're afraid to go through 5 whole days where your full entire focus is on either work, or most of the time it's work. So we'll just say it's work. And it becomes, and it's a cycle, to be truthful. And it feels like a trap. It feels like a trap. Okay, so we're going to read about that. So I'm a 23-year-old female, and I've always been a naturally very, very anxious person. All my life, whether it has been for school or for work, now as an adult, I had the Sunday scaries. I wake up on Sunday morning and my first thought is that it's back to reality tomorrow. I dread the entire day and I live in a state of anxiety the entire day. Pause. So and I read these situations, but I read them like they are your situation. If you are in a situation that is similar, understand that it's common, but it should not be normal. It's normalized. Oh, everybody gets it. It shouldn't be normal. So when you are to the point where you're getting the Sunday scaries, especially she said she had it for school as well, there's something that's not aligned. Either you're doing something that's making you uncomfortable to the point where it might not be the best thing for you, especially like, let's say for instance, she was working. I haven't read this one in its entirety, but let's just say she's working somewhere where she has to talk to people all day long. And she's more of an introvert. Now, some introverts are okay with talking to people, but let's say she's not. And maybe she loves flowers. Maybe she should be working in a flower shop or something. She's going to get the Sunday scaries because she's constantly put in a state of fight or flight. She's put in a state of fight or flight for 5 whole days. You are in this shaky mode where the only day you can somewhat relax is Friday night, because Saturday you're starting to get it as well, especially as the night comes, and Sunday you're just a wreck. Okay, if you're getting this, I personally feel like that's your body telling you there's something wrong here. Okay, continue. I always want to be able to do things to enjoy my Sunday that don't involve just sitting around in bed all day, but I can't bring myself to. I feel like I can't enjoy going and doing things on Sunday fully because all I'm thinking about is how it's Sunday and tomorrow it's back to work. I feel like if I stay at home and do nothing instead, I have more time in a sense, and I'm not wasting it by being out and about. But also mostly just because it's hard for me to enjoy activities on Sundays. Pause. This is near and dear to my heart. Okay? This is near and dear to my heart because I've been there. I have worked jobs where it has gotten to, and I'm a physical therapist by trade. Okay? I have worked some jobs where I literally could not get out of bed on Sundays because it just and you can't enjoy. So here's the part: you want to be home, you want to enjoy your home, and enjoy that time to recharge. But if you're out and about doing stuff, you don't get that time to recharge and get your mind right for the week. So you feel like you're missing out on activities, but you're really not. And there was a point where I didn't like doing anything on Sundays at all. My thing is I had to change my my life, my job. Um, but so a lot of times it's a change of job and a change of career, and I know it's easier said than done. 100% easier said than done. But even taking the little steps toward those changes to what aligns more with you can make you feel a lot better about doing things on Sundays. Okay? Okay. Resume. My boyfriend is a real estate agent and is very busy throughout the week, and especially Saturdays. Sundays is about our only day left that we get to spend together and do actual date things. Go be outside, go to the beach, etc. I really want to be able to enjoy today and, for example, take our bikes to a bike path, but I feel like I just won't be able to enjoy it. How do you change this mindset and cope with it? Has anyone struggled in the same way? There's a lot of people that struggle with this. There's a lot of people that struggle with this. So I'm going to answer this. I think I already kind of answered this question. First things first, therapy. I would suggest therapy to figure out, one, if this is a situational if this is a situational anxiety, or if this is a inherent anxiety that's coming from something else. Therapy, counseling, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm not, and I would, getting with a good psychiatrist. Now, I'm not a huge fan of medication. However, I do personally feel medication can get us through the hump of changing our environment to the point where we are not, getting triggered by certain things. And like I said, I've struggled with this. I have very much struggled with this, especially as a mother. It's 10 times worse because now you can't get out of bed. You got kids now, and you got to perform for them, even though you just don't want to do anything. And I think it's more than just anxiety. That's a little bit of depression too. I feel. Okay. It's and I'm gonna read one of the comments. So one of the comments says, I have no advice, but understand completely. If I did something, went out on Sunday, Monday will roll around and I'll regret it because of exactly what you explained. Like I wasted my Sunday being out when I should have stayed in. And then I'll still feel bad for staying in and doing nothing. Ugh. Pause. It is literally a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a very, very unpleasant cycle that I really do feel like is systemic. I feel like it's systemic. I feel like there's too many people in this world that are doing things. I'm about to go on a little bit of a tangent here. I feel like there's too many people in this world that are doing things that they're not aligned with for the sake of survival. But the problem is the things that you can work on, or the things that people love to do that may have been fruitful and worth it financially to do in the past, are not worth it anymore. Everything is white collar now, or maybe now we're getting more into trades, but everything is white collar. And what are white collar people doing? Sitting at a desk all day. That's soul sucking for a lot of people. Some people are meant to be, well, farmers, but then that's industrialized too. I can go on a whole tangent of this, but I don't want to get off topic. But yes, continue. I love Sunday mornings, but after like 3 p.m., I feel a pit in my stomach. And the worst part is I always sleep like SHIT on Sunday nights because of the anxiety, I assume. So most Mondays I have a headache by the end of work and I'm miserable, which creates more anxiety. Which creates more anxiety. See what I mean here? We have too many people in this world that's not enjoying life because whatever job, this system has created this bubble that we have to live in, saying this is the only job that you can get in order to live this type of dream. And that needs to change. I really do feel like, as a society, we need to find different ways where we can live, whether it is like under, and I know this is hard in this economy. I know this is hard in this economy, but living below our means, not subscribing to whatever this dream is that you have to be in all of this expensive debt. And I'm not a financial advisor at all, guys, but I do believe that you should not be taking on things that will put you into a cage where you have to go into somebody's office, job, whatever, every single day and hate it just for the sake of having a normal life. Just for the sake of having a normal life. It's very sad. It's very sad. Okay? Let's pull a card to kind of see if there's any other things. I kind of said a lot of things already, I feel like, but let's just kind of see if there's anything extra that probably should be said here. Okay. Let's see what's going on. And y'all, my shuffle skills are terrible sometimes. Page of Pentacles. And I feel like I've gotten this card so many times. So the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles is all about, the way you make money. And it kind of goes along with what we were talking about. You should be happy with whatever you're using as your resource to bring in stability. You should be happy doing it. You should almost feel excited. The page is a very young and fresh, and this is new to me, and I'm excited for it. Whatever you do should make you feel excited to do and also bring in resources. And like I've said before, I am very happy that we are coming to a point where we're finding alternative ways to make money. I know AI is taking jobs, but also people are using AI to create their own. And I love that for everyone. And I love it for us as a society, because we're kind of taking it back into our own hands. And I'm really proud of everyone for that. I really am. Okay. So, yes. So let's go to our next one. This one is from the Working Mom subreddit, and it's called I Quit. And also if you want to have a visual, turn on the captions, so you can kind of, see the words going across. And let me know if my captions, if my words at the bottom are blocking. And also like and subscribe if you are enjoying. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things. It really helps the channel, and it helps me be able to come on here more for you all. Okay. And like I said, I also do readings, with, even on here, I'll do readings as well, in between Reddit reads. So if you like, just let me know. I have my Cash App here, donation-based readings for those who actually, have a question and want me to pull some cards for you in between Reddit reads. So let's continue. Let us continue. Let me drink some tea first. Ooh. Oh, let's see. Refresh. I don't know what's going on. Uh-oh. Hold on. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Get my chat together. Can't see y'all. Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh. Something at the bottom popped up, but then it went away. But yes. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Hold on, everyone. Let me, because I can't even see questions. So let me go to my actual video. Oh. There we are. Okay. We're working again, y'all. All right. And I tend to have technical difficulties. So I'm not a huge techie person. So I have help. Okay. So this one is from the Working Mom subreddit. It's called I Quit. Let's see, hold on. Now I got it. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brent. Now I got it. Thank you so much. All right. Uh-oh. Um. Oh. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I cannot see the chat, so I'm so sorry about that. Oh no. What's happening? Can y'all see me? Oh, there's a delay. There's a little bit of a delay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now. Okay. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to move this over here so I can see the chat. And, uh-oh. Okay, so we're going to talk about I Quit. Okay. And so sorry, guys. For some reason, something is going on with my chat and I cannot see. So if you are watching, just like and enjoy the show for now. So now we're going to do a Reddit read for it's called I Quit. Okay. From the Working Mom subreddit. I quit. This is all impossible. I can't seem to ever catch up on work. I'm constantly behind and under delivering these days. Pause. So again, there's the pressure to constantly be delivering. There's the pressure to constantly be delivering in a society where where's the deadline? Where is the deadline? Again, we have to be extremely conscious of our time all the time, to the point where it's giving us so much anxiety to where we ended up getting analysis paralysis, and now we can't get anything done because we're overwhelmed by all the things we have to do. But a lot of it is, unfortunately, it's a mental mind, you know. I can't say bad words, but a lot of it is mental because that's the way we've been programmed. That is the way we've been programmed. Okay, resume. One of the kids is sick, or daycare is closed, or my anxiety around the world picks up, and I have trouble focusing. I can't finish projects on time these days, even if my life depends on it. See? Even if my life depends on it. I'm exhausted from broken sleep. My brain is fried from broken up focus days and having to pick up sick kids. With a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and nearly full-time childcare and a supportive partner, I still feel like this is effing impossible. And despite a full client load and decent salary, we're tight on money. That's it. That's the post. Godspeed, moms. So, this is so common with working moms. It's very, very sad. And unfortunately, it's common with mothers that love their jobs. It's common with mothers that love their jobs. And it really makes me sad, because a lot of people, we put on weight entirely too much. And I feel like there's a degree here of mom guilt, where, you're a mother and you want to be great at your job, but then you're also, you have this job and you are an employee, or you're doing, whatever job that you're doing. You have to split into two. And so when the kids get sick and they break the routine, or they break this meeting that, oh my God, this was so important, it creates a lot more anxiety, and it just becomes a mess. It just becomes a mess. And unfortunately, we don't get enough support. And I think a lot of it, because she even mentioned that despite a full client load and decent salary, we're tight on money. That goes back to exactly what I was talking about. She's working so hard and they both make decent money, but they're still tight on money. I mean, childcare is another mortgage. Childcare is a whole nother mortgage. So she's starting to feel like, what's the point? What's the point in me even doing all of this? That is why we are in a society where all of the hard work that we are doing is going to waste. It's going to waste. We can't even live. We can't even live. They're tight on money. Oh, I see something saying testing. We're tight on money despite having decent salaries. And there's full-time childcare, supportive partner. But even with all of that, you are not enjoying life. And this is where you're putting too much into different places, not putting enough on yourself. And now when things start meshing together, like, okay, now the kids are sick and it's meshing into job. Now I have to take homework. Now it's meshing into kids. And with all of this, I can't even afford food. It becomes a problem. And then I can guarantee this mom will feel bad about slowing down. This mom will feel completely bad about slowing down and just enjoying life. Now, we have to learn that we don't always have to be perfect at everything. We don't always have to be perfect at everything. We're not going to be perfect moms, and we're not going to be perfect employees or bosses or whatever. We're going to have days where them kids are going to get sick and you can't go, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. 100% every day is not 100%. Sometimes 30% is 100. Because what you're going to do, the kids you're going to make sure the kids are okay. And they can't go to daycare regardless if they're sick. What are you going to do? And plus, I don't know, like I said, I don't know the situation. I don't know her job. But kid gets sick, your boss cares if the work gets done, but your boss is not your kid's mother or father. So you have to prioritize your children, or else they get sick and go to the hospital. Now you're gonna miss a lot of work if you don't slow down and be okay with slowing down. A lot of times we are not okay with slowing down because of the pressure of corporate, of meetings, of things that put us into a tizzy because we're trying to be perfect in every single thing, and we're not going to be perfect in every single thing. And people need to stop. And I really do feel like this too. People have to work at their pace, because the problem is when you work over your pace and over what you can handle, that becomes the standard. And people will literally work you to death. And then when they work you to death, before your obituary even comes out, they will replace you the next day. And now your kids don't have a mother. It's okay to slow down, and it's okay if your kids get sick. They take priority. If that job doesn't understand, that job is not for you. A job is not an end all be all. There are people that get millions of dollars by singing and saying crazy things on TikTok, YouTube every single day. Every single day, people change their lives with the click of a button. A job is not the end all be all. The society wants you to believe that a job is an end all be all, and it's not. Is it hard when if you lose a job? Absolutely. No, especially in this economy where people are getting laid off left and right. But the problem is people put their everything into this one bucket. And we got to stop that, because this one bucket don't give a rat's behind about you. Hey, I see the question mark. I know something's going on with the chat today. People don't give a rat's. This bucket doesn't give a rat's behind about you. So it is okay to slow down, to take care of your kids. It's okay to take care of your kids. I'm gonna drink some water because my asthma's starting to bother me. Excuse me. Okay, drink some tea. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Sometimes when I talk too much, I have little coughing fits. Oh, I'm on mute. Oh, mute my chat. Oh. Okay. I just hit mute. I was already muted.
Click this, I know. Come back to it.
Hold on. Okay. So sometimes I have little coughing fits and I don't want to be like all in your face or all in your ear coughing. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We're still new here. We're still new at all this. So, okay. So let's pull our card. And to those watching, I do pull cards. I do them for self-improvement. So sometimes I like to pull them because it just kind of gives me an idea of if there's anything that I missed that I should be talking about based on this situation. Okay. Or if there's anything that you all need to hear based on this situation that I might not have said, which a lot of times I've already said it. The card just confirms it. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what's happening. And then during this time, I do take questions. Okay. I will take questions during this time. Okay. So in between all Reddit reads, I take questions, if that's what you need. All right. So we got the Seven of Cups here, and this definitely goes along with what I was saying with this one. The Seven of Cups is about we're getting pulled so many different ways emotionally to where it affects your mental health. It affects your mental health. The mom is, we got too many cups here. We have the children, we have work, we have being a housemaid, we have, all of the different things, being the chef, because with children and a 1 and a 4-year-old, especially a 1-year-old. Yeah, I have a 1-year-old. And I have a 1, a 6, and an 8-year-old. Okay. With all of that, it can become a nightmare if you don't pace yourself. If you let other things distract you, and if you let too many things, if you pour into too many things, you're just going to be empty, especially if you don't have time to pour into yourself. Okay. We have to, one, prioritize what matters that day. Prioritize what matters at the moment. If your children are sick, in your mind, this meeting can wait. This meeting can wait. This is my child. This meeting can wait. Unless you have, a partner or someone that can come and get the baby, or, a babysitter or somebody that can come and get the baby, this meeting can wait. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Because your kids come first. And they deserve, that's what they deserve. They deserve to be cared for when they are sick. That job don't deserve, for your child to just be at home or at the daycare just sick. I mean, really sick. I mean, stuffy noses is stuffy noses, but, and I mean really sick to where you're feeling so much anxiety that you can't take off. I've been there. Everything I'm saying to y'all, I have been there 100%. Especially, and I know it's hard, especially as a single mom. I've been there. Especially as a single mom, it is really difficult. But there are points that, there are some times where that's where having multiple streams of income and a source of income that involves you being home, to where you can work with them from home, to where you can make some extra money, is super important, y'all. I think it's super important. Okay. I mean, it may put some extra little cups there, but at least you won't feel that anxiety of, okay, if I lose my job, or if I miss this meeting, it kind of gives you a mental security blanket. So a lot of times we catastrophize things when it comes to anxiety. I'm gonna bring this back up. We catastrophize things when it comes to anxiety. So what happens is my kid gets sick. I am anxious because I have now I have this job that I'm depending on. Now, if I miss this meeting, my whole job is going to go. I'm not going to be able to pay rent. And then it just goes spiral. Especially if that's your only bucket where you're bringing in money. So the biggest part is, and probably investments help with this one, because you're making money without even doing anything. When you have other sources where you can pull from, it kind of breaks that catastrophizing in your brain that you do a little bit, because you're saying, okay, if I lose this job, it won't be too bad. I may not lose this. I may not be able to, buy, whatever my luxury bag that I want to buy for right now, but at least I'll be okay. At least I can survive. At least I can pay rent or mortgage. Okay. All right. Okay. Let us continue to our next one. And like, subscribe, if you're enjoying the channel, it really helps out the channel. I do also offer readings on my Buy Me a Coffee account. The link is in the description. If you would like one, they're all written. Just go on the link. I do also do readings on TikTok. Okay. But I love my YouTubes because I actually, talk about real life situations. I mean, it's real life situation on TikTok too, but that's more, everybody is so fast. At least here, we get to really talk. Okay. All right. Now, this is also from the Working Mom subreddit, and this is about someone, the pressure to perform and comparing yourself to other people. Okay. So the title is How to Deal with Overachieving Childless Coworkers. All right. Now, before we start, personally, When people are childless, go for it. Okay, we are not in a society where if you do not want children, you should be having children. And I think if enough people were honest with themselves about not having children, we would be in a better place today because there'll be less children in poverty. Okay, so continue. I'm a federal employee in a white collar data related job. I have 2 to 3 coworkers on my team who are child free by choice and are in the peak career climbing mode. They routinely work after hours and weekends and have started encroaching on my projects, offering to take tickets and also just taking over meetings permanently if I'm out of the office 1 to 2 days taking care of a sick kid or whatever. Pause. Okay. The, I'm not gonna say. I almost feel like that's them competing. This seems like a very cutthroat area where people, and this is how jobs get toxic. This is how in career and work environments get really toxic because stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Why do you need to come on in my project and get my stuff done? Okay. And I think with this mom here, she's feeling the pressure of, I can't compete with this because I have kids that get sick and they want to take over these projects. If you have a job that allows this to happen, one, well, if you have a job that allows this to happen, start looking for another one. Especially if you're a mother, start looking for another one. I can guarantee you, you will be worse off trying to stay there than you would if you got another job because it's not worth it. It is not worth it. If they want to overwork themselves, see, here's the issue with that. When, like I said before, when you are overworking yourselves, it becomes the standard. When you're working, volunteering to work after hours and weekends and stuff, that becomes the standard for you. And if you try to pull back for those 2 people that are childless, and if they try to pull back because they're trying to climb the ladder and then now life happens and they have children and they have to pull back, that toxic environment's going to do stuff to them. Most likely. Because you set the standard. You set the standard by overworking yourself and working weekends and, working overtime just to climb the ladder. You're not going to ever be able to stop and you're stuck in a cycle. You're stuck in a cycle. So, this mom is doing right. This mom isn't doing anything wrong, but she feels like she's doing things wrong because she can't compete with working weekends when she has to take care of her children and working after hours. And there's nothing wrong with the people who are childless doing all of that, but understand the people that are childless, that's going to be their standard. And when they need to pull back and now have boundaries, they're going to have an issue, a really huge issue. Okay. These jobs don't care. And if you're working yourself to death just to get, a promotion, that promotion becomes a trap because now the promotion, you're getting pennies for 10 times the work. You're getting 1 cent for you're getting $1 for about $10,000 worth of work. They're going to throw way too much on you. Okay. And that's where the pressure to continue this is where that pressure to move fast. Someone like this mom feels the pressure of slowing down and taking care of a sick child because now there's someone that's trying to compete for my job. Forget that job. If they aren't going to allow that, that is not something that you want to deal with, honeybee. Okay. Okay. Continue. I brought this up politely. And if anybody is trying to say anything in the chat, I'm sorry, the chat's kind of having issues right now. So if I don't see it, I'm sorry. Continue. I've brought this up politely with our supervisor in the most diplomatic way possible, and she does nothing. Of course, she likes the She likes the extra work. Why would she do anything when she's getting all her extra work done? You're the one that's worried about the job for good reason. But she's getting extra work done. She's not going to care. You care about you. These jobs don't care about you. Okay? Or has told me to speak up and take the meeting back. Am I crazy? thinking it would be combative to say, hey, I'll lead today after someone has already started leading the meeting. One of them always joins 5 minutes early and begins speaking before everyone else has joined, including me, the meeting owner. Pause. I don't think it'd be crazy. I think once it gets to that point, they're being petty. You be petty right back. Right in the middle of them talking, hey, I have something to say. Hey, this is my meeting, so I'm going to go ahead and lead it now. Thank you so much for the introduction while I was, thank you for starting early. I appreciate it. But I'm going to go ahead and lead. So, if this is what you want, you got to be a little bit more assertive if you care about it. If the boss isn't doing, again, no one is going to care about you more than you. If the boss is not doing anything about it, then you take it into your own hands. That's all you can do at this point. That's all you can do. Okay? Take it into your own hands. Make that other coworker feel really bad and very awkward. And if it's combative, it's combative. Go out swinging. Because if you're worried about your job, think about it this way. If they're going to take you out, you go out swinging. Okay? If they're going to take you out anyway because your kid is sick 1 or 2 days and these people can do it, go out swinging. Make everybody pay. Okay? Now, continue. In other areas, I just don't know what to do. I only have my working hours. I work from the moment my partner leaves with our kid to drop off to the moment they walk in the door. We have zero help, so I never have time to work, I think, extra hours. And I'm always too zonked to do that after hours at night. Advice? The advice is to continue to do what you're doing and stop worrying about them people. Okay? Stop worrying about them people, because as soon as you start to do one, those two coworkers are going to burn out. They're going to burn out regardless. They are going to burn out because, again, working all of those extra hours is unsustainable for anybody. And eventually they may or may not want children, or they might, want to do other things for other reasons. And then it eventually becomes an issue. They have zero help. You shouldn't be working extra hours and you shouldn't feel pressure to. And again, like I said, if someone is going to pressure you to work those extra hours, that's not the job for you, and you should start, making your way out of there. If you're trying to, take your meetings back, be more assertive. Make them people feel awkward. Just like they encroached on yours, encroach on theirs. Just make a whole bunch of comments that are not inappropriate, but comments that are always constantly disagreeing with them. Make them feel awkward so they leave you alone. Sometimes you gotta play where people are. Because if they trying to play with you, play right back. Okay, we just gonna be playing. Can't y'all tell I'm a little petty? So either stop worrying about them people or go ahead and play right back. Y'all might end up in HR, but hey, if you scared that your job's gonna end anyway, so here's the thing, they're gonna try and encroach on your jobs to the point where they, obviously when layoffs come, because we are in a layoff era, when layoffs come, they want to be the last one on the docket, so they're gonna work extra. So if you feel like you're gonna lose your job anyway, like I said, go out swinging. Don't do nothing without a fight. Okay, let's see what we got to say here. The Six of Swords reversed. So yes, I think with this type of situation, this person, feeling trapped, you're feeling trapped. You want to go, you want to go, and you want to ensure that you're doing a good job. But other people encroaching on your situation, it hurts you mentally, and you feel like there's nothing else that you can do. You can't become passive and let other people drive your boat. You have to actually, you have to be the one driving your own boat. And right now, this person is letting other people drive her boat. encroach on her, encroach on her job. And so here's the thing. When this person, if you're letting other people drive your boat, they're going to step all over you. You got to be in control of your own boat. You got to be in control of your own boat. Like I said, them people coming into your meetings, say, thank you so much for starting my meeting for me. I'll take it from here. And if they want to keep talking, I'll take it from here. Just make it awkward for them. They made it awkward for you. Make it awkward. All right? Okay. So, all right. I think that'll be the last one because I gotta get up out of here. But actually, let me see. Yeah, that'll be the last one for today. I think usually only have time for about 3. But yes. So, moral of the story is we get so afraid to slow down and be, and just enjoy because, we have all of these pressures to keep constantly doing. But a lot of it is pressures, a lot of it we put on ourselves. And a lot of it we put on ourselves because of what society created on top of us. We forget the power that we actually have when it comes to, jobs, when it comes to, hold on, let me see. Sorry, I can see the chat. Chat's, chat's not working, everybody. I'm sorry. It really does suck today. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we forget the power that we have when it comes to, work, when it comes to, I'm more talking about work today. Work and making money, business, society. And we understand that if you are spread to, when you do not slow down and realize, the good that's there, you're going to miss, like I said, you're going to miss the whole reason why you're doing all of this work anyway. And it's going to get lost and you're going to start getting anxiety. And the anxiety is going to start showing itself somatically in your, in your body. You start getting headaches, dizziness, all kind of crazy stuff. Moral of the story is don't be afraid to slow down. Don't be afraid to slow down because when you slow down and treat yourself well, things will work out the way it should. And if someone is pressuring you or if a situation is pressuring you to have to work in overdrive, understand that that's not going to be sustainable in the long run regardless. Regardless. It's not going to be sustainable in the long run regardless. So you might as well sit and enjoy. Okay? Sit, take some time to yourself. Stop stressing so much. Okay? I know every situation is different, but in every situation is a problem that can be solved. Some things will take little baby steps in order to do, but there is a problem that can be solved. All right? So with that said, I'm going to leave you guys there. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It really does help. And, I would love to get to know more of you all. So feel free to comment as well. And until next time, slow down, enjoy life a little bit. Okay? Enjoy life a little bit. And until next time, guys, love you. Bye.